And good morning, math masters. We're tackling today problem set 15. If you don't have your problem set booklet with you, that's okay. You can go ahead and use plain paper because that's what I'm going to be using today because it's just so small, your problem set. So let's look at the directions for, this is page 163. So it's problem set 15, looks something like that. And then it says draw an area model for each pair of fractions and use it to compare the two fractions by writing greater than, less than, or equal on the line. The first two have been partially done for you. Each rectangle represents one. So let's get started with 1/2. And we don't know how it compares. Well, actually, we do know they did this for us. That's okay, we can do it too. So they're saying that 1/2 is less than 2/3, and we're going to prove it through area models, okay? So my first area model is going to represent 1/2. And my second one will represent 2/3. And I'm going to try to make them about the same size. So we have, watch what happens here. I really like this part. Let's go ahead and shade in. And they don't shade in on in the problem set, but you can go ahead and do that. So shade in 1/2, and then we shade in 2/3. So now we're going to do some math to prove that 2/3 is in fact greater than 1/2. So what we'll do is we'll take 1/2. We're going to kind of change things around a little bit now, how we've done them before. We're going to extend this line, and we're going to multiply it by 3, 2 times 3, okay? So 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. So 3/6 is equal to 1/2. Take a look. What if I break this into 6 parts? We can see we have 3/6, which is equal to 1/2. Now let's make the thirds into 6. So I'm going to go 2/3. And this time around we don't multiply it by 3, but we multiply it by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. So we have 4/6 compared to 3/6. But let's see what it looks like on our tape diagram. We're going to go, and there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 compared to 3/6. So 2/3 is greater than 1/2 because 4/6 is equal to 2/3 and 3/6 is equal to 1/2. That's how we know. Let's try the next one. And for those of you, I gave you a wrong answer yesterday. On the quiz, question 3, it said 3/4 compared to 5/6. If you hit 5/6, you were correct. I didn't set that up right on the computer. Okay, our next one is 4/5. And we're comparing it to 3/4. Okay? So that's what we're comparing right here. So let's make our tape diagrams over here. So we're going to make one of these 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to go ahead and shade in 4 of these. Okay, so there's my 4/5. Now the other one is 3/4. So let's see what our 3/4 looks like. We can go, let's go this way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to shade in 3 of those to represent 3/4. So which one's greater? Well, let's start doing our math to figure this out. We'll start with 3/4. We're going to multiply 3/4 by 5. So 3, make the long line, quarters. And we're not actually multiplying by 5. All we're doing is multiplying by 1, right? 5/5. So it'd be 3 times 5 is 15. And 4 times 5 is 20. So what I'm going to do now is break this up into 20ths, right? So we would do 1, 2, 3, oops, I'm doing this one, I'm doing 3/4, not 4/5. Let's break this up into 20ths. We're still okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you see you get a 5, 10, 15, 20ths. Now we'll do 4/5. And we multiply by 4, right? 5 times 4. The fifths are multiplied into fourths. 4 times 4 is 16. And 5 times 4 is 20. So we have 16 20ths. 4, 8, told you it'd work out, 12, 16. So we can count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 20ths. What's greater? 4/5. So any alligator eats the larger number. Okay, let's go ahead and do our next one. And it is, boy, 4/5, or excuse me, 3/5 and 4/7. 3/5 compared to 4/7. Boy, they make the writing so small. Okay, let's make our tape diagrams. And the first one we're going to do is 3/5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'm going to shade in 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 4/7. We're going to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and I'm going to shade in 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 3/5 and 4/7. Now we need to do our multiplication to break this into a denominator that where they have the same denominator. So I just go 5 times 7. So we'll go 3/5 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. And 5 times 7 is 35. So let's break this up now into 35 pieces. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. So there's 1, there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so I got room, 30, and 35. So we can count these, 7, 14, 21, and see we have 21 35ths. Now let's do the same with the 4/7. And what are we going to multiply by? Well, we're going to multiply by, the 4/7, we're going to multiply by 5. Actually, it's just 1, 5/5, right? So 4 times 5 is 20, and 7 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 20 35ths. Wow, they were really close. But let's just go ahead and break this up into 35ths. 3, 4, and 5. And we could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 35ths. So what's bigger? Well, 3/5 equals 21 35ths, and the 4/7 equals 20 35ths. So 3/5 is indeed larger. Okay, let's do the next one. And I'm going to get a new pen. We'll do comparing 3/7 and 2/6. 3/7 and 2/6. Which one is larger? All right. Well, let's get right to it. And we'll start off with a tape diagram of 3/7. Gonna make this a little longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're gonna make it 3/7. There's 1, 2, and 3. So there's our 3/7. And now let's make our 2/6. Gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and I'm going to color in 2 of those, shade in 2. 1, 2. Okay, now we have 7 and 6. That's going to cut these up into a lot of little pieces, right? 7 times 6 is 42. So we're going to chop these up into 40-seconds, okay? So we have 3/7 right up here. And we're going to multiply by 6. 7 times 6, 42. 3 times 6, 18. So let's go ahead and chop these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 40-seconds. Now let's do it with the 2/6. 2/6 times 7/7 equals what? Well, 2 times 7 is 14, and we already know 6 times 7 is 42. So let's chop this down 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can see we have 14 out of 42. So what's bigger? 3/7. Let's continue on. And we're going to compare 5/8 and 6/9, right? And I'm going to take up a lot of room on this one. 5/8 is greater or less than 6/9. Let's find out. This is going to be kind of close. Think about what might be greater. So let's make our tape diagram for 5/8. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll shade in 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll make our next tape diagram of 6/9. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we're going to color in 6 of these. Okay, 5/8 and 6/9. Now, I'm going to multiply 5/8 by 9/9 to see what this will come out to be. So let's do that. We're going to go over here and we're going to say 5/8, multiplying it by 9/9. Well, 5 times 9, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 45. And 8 times 9 is 72. So we're going to chop this up now into ninths, or by 9. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wow, this is why I made it big, 7, I'll cut this one, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we made it 72 pieces. We took the 8 and we made them 72 pieces. How many are shaded in now? Well, we can count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So 45, 70 seconds. Now 6 ninths. Let's see what this happens. We go to 6 ninths and we're going to multiply, whoops. We're going to multiply by 8 eighths. 9 times 8 we already know is 72, and 6 times 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. So let's divide this into 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. So you can see that 6 ninths is 48, 70 seconds, is 5 eighths is 45, 70 seconds. So 6 ninths is in fact larger. Alright, got one more to go on this page, and that's all we're doing today. I'll make this one kind of big too. We have much more sensible numbers to work with now. Sensible fractions. We're comparing 2/3 and 3/4. So, by now, I think you should be able to get this one down. We have 2/3, 1, 2, and 3. And 3/4. So let's look at 2/3. All right, 2/3 and then 3/4. And we'll do our multiplication to figure out which one of these is bigger. Greater. And we'll say 2/3. We're going to multiply by 4. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 times 4 is 8. So let's go ahead and make these into 12ths. There's 3, 6, and 9, and 12. So now we can see that it's become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's still the same fraction, an equal fraction. It's just smaller pieces, smaller units. So 2/3 does in fact equal 8/12. Well, now let's look at the 3/4. And we're going to multiply by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 3 is 12. So we're breaking this into 12 pieces. There's 4, there's 8, and 12. So look what we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9/12. 9/12 is equal to 3/4. Is 9/12 bigger than 8/12? You bet it is. And there we have it. That's it for it today, Math Masters. Check out your language arts too today, okay?